Today I'm going to put a new battery in one of these. Hi, welcome back to the shed. I know there's a lot of videos on YouTube already showing you how to swap the batteries out on these cartridges, but seeing as I was going to do it anyway, I thought I may as well do a quick tutorial on my method of swapping the batteries out of the Pokémon cartridges. Different Game Boy cartridges use slightly different batteries, but in this case I'm working with the second generation Pokémon cartridges and they use a CR2025 tabbed battery. So these are like the little flat watch type batteries, but they have a little tab on them here and here so you can solder them directly onto the motherboard. I would definitely suggest getting one of these and don't try and do it with a regular one. I've seen people using like copper tape and things like that to get them attached. Just do the job properly or don't bother. That's just my opinion on it, but that will keep you safer and it will keep your cartridges safer as well. So you can see on the crystal one that the battery is just inside the cartridge here and it's soldered directly onto the board. Now my silver needs redoing and I did the gold earlier today, so I'll show you how it should look when it boots up. If I switch on and that loads up here, you should get three options there: continue, new game, or option, and it's saved the information because it's got a real-time clock on there. So it's currently Saturday afternoon, just gone 4:30. So that is working, and that's with the new battery in there, which is great, so I can play that as much as I like. Now these are very old games now, so these batteries have been in there for a long time, and this one the battery has worn out. So if I switch on there, we will go to a slightly different screen. The continue option is not there, and the information about the day and time is not there. Now I tried loading up a game, played through about 20 minutes and then saved and switched off, and when I switched back on, the option was not there for me to continue. So this one needs a new battery going in, and that is what we are going to do. So in terms of equipment that we're going to need for this, you will need a soldering iron. I use this Antex CS18. It's an 18 watt simple soldering iron. You just plug it in and it gets hot. There's no controls to it at all, and it does me great. I have a pointed tip on there which gives me lots of control for the more fine delicate jobs that I do. In addition to that, what you are going to need is a special type of screwdriver bit which gets referred to as a game bit. Now you can get two different sizes. One will open Nintendo consoles like the GameCube and Nintendo 64. There's a slightly smaller one which will open up these cartridges. Now these used to be really hard to get hold of, but now I got a little kit like this from, I think it was eBay or Amazon, and it comes with a few different, it's got like a tri-wing and a regular screwdriver, but it's also got the two different game bit attachments. So this is the small one, it's kind of like a star shape. And what we'll do with that is we'll open up the cartridge. In addition to that, other things that we will need, something that will lift up your battery from the contacts that's plastic ideally. So something like a spudger like this, or one of these sort of prying tools. And I'm also going to use a solder sucker, a desoldering pump to remove the solder. First, what we'll do is we'll open the cartridge. So I've got it on my soldering mat. This is like a silicone mat that I've cleaned before, so it's fine with that going face down. You might want to put your work on a cloth or something like that if you're just working on a tabletop. Undo the screw carefully. That'll come out quite easily because it's quite short. Keep it in a safe place. To open up the cartridge, you need to slide the top surface down slightly and then it will disengage and lift off. So we'll just move that out of the way, keep that safe. And the entire PCB inside will come off there like that. Now while it is open, I'm going to clean the contacts as well. Alcohol, isopropyl, you get your cotton bud. I've got alcohol on there and I am just going to rub that across those contacts. This is nothing to do with the battery, but this will make the cartridge read much more easily when it's inserted into the Game Boy, and it won't transfer any dirt onto the Game Boy contacts. So if ever you've got, oh I hate that squeak. If ever you've got a game open, that's worth doing. So on there you have the textured, slightly curved at the edges side, that's your negative, and this one is your positive, but it sits flat that way. Okay, so that's labelled up, positive there, negative there. Handy things to do is like take a photo of what you've got there and then you can try and match it afterwards. So this is my battery attached onto the circuit board, soldered on these 2 points. We need to remove that. I've got these crocodile clips, helping hands, whatever you want to call them, to hold it in place, and I'm ready to remove that. So I need my spudger and I need my soldering iron, and what I'm going to do is just put the spudger underneath the battery slightly, it will go under, and then you reheat the solder, lift and give it time to cool because you don't want to put it back down and have it reattach. Then on the other side I'll just reheat that. Now be careful with this one because it'll just lift and fall off. There we go. And now we've got a little bit of spare solder that I need to remove. So I'll use my solder sucker and just heat that, suck it up. It won't remove all of it, but you don't need to remove all of it, just most of it there. Do this side, reheat that, reflow it, suck up the excess. Smooth that out. That is now ready for my new battery. Now this is where the crocodile clips come in quite handy, because if I get my new battery in position, so positive goes to this one, that way around, you've got like a little gold circle on the circuit board so it can help you position it, and then the crocodile clip will just grab that in place, hold it in position while you solder. If you have a little flux, that will help. If you don't, you'll still get by, you'll be all right. So I'll put a little bit of flux on there and there. You just need to heat up the metal for the solder to stick, so I'll heat that first, add some solder, give it time to flow, and then move away. I need to flow that a little bit more. There we go. Same with this side, heat it, add some solder, give it time to flow, and then move away. And that is done. That should work now. So if I take that away from my clips, and I'll get back to my casing. I've got the bottom casing here. This will just sit in there like that. The top will drop in a little further down. You've got like these little tabs that will locate in here. So that'll drop down there and move up. We'll flip it over. We'll get our screw back in. Just drop that into the hole, put that in place. And that should work. All right, so it's time to test it. Now, when I first load it up, it'll look just like when there was no save file in there, because we haven't got a save file yet. So what I'll do is load it. So I'm going to go on a new game. I'm going to set it all up, and I'll come back to you shortly. All right, so I've started a game, and what we'll do is I've tried saving it already, and that worked. But I'll just save it now, just to show you that's been done. There's already a save file. Is it okay to overwrite? Yes, saving. Don't turn off the power. Joe saved the game. Right, so that is now all saved. So if I switch off and then on again, what we are hoping for is that when we load that main menu screen, we don't just have the two options, we also have the information about the save file. So there we go. We can now continue, or we can go on a new game, or we can do the options. And today it's Saturday and it's 4:55, and we have restored the memory on our game cartridge. So we can start playing and saving our game again. Brilliant. So that's it, all done. Good as new, and able to save my game and keep playing instead of putting hours in and then coming back to it and having to start fresh again. So just like it was when it was new, and I'm going to go and have a play now. So if you enjoyed that, have a look at some of my other videos, like, subscribe, comment, all the usual stuff, and I'll see you for the next video. Bye.